on, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with another championship predictions review video, and in this game week I got the same score as last week. I got 1. See up there again. Yeah, basically this week I didn't do too well, but like most of these weeks I got really close, and the championship's just a hard league to predict. It's so unpredictable. Like, obviously this week Huddersfield beat West Brom, which eventually handed the title to Leeds. Well, got Leeds promoted, and then after Brentford somehow managed to slip up against Stoke, Leeds, unfortunately for the rest of the championship, they went up to the Premier League. We can no longer laugh at them for bottling everything. But yeah, in this game it was a huge one, and for some reason after Huddersfield got scared, Danny Cowley kept Huddersfield up. For some reason they sacked him, and don't know why that happened, but yeah, Barnsley also got a huge win in their bid to stay in the championship. So without further ado, let's just get straight into reviewing these games. This game is between Huddersfield and West Brom at John Smith Stadium, obviously because that's where Huddersfield's home ground is. Huddersfield won this one surprisingly, which kept them in the championship, but then for some reason saw the sacking of Danny Cowley and his brother Nicky after this game. Well, anyway, on to the match. Chris Willock gave Huddersfield the lead after 4 minutes, after the ball was parried out by Sam Johnston, and he managed to smack in. He was poor from Johnston, really. Then Darrow Shea again capitalised on, maybe not much of a mistake, but a parry from a goalkeeper heading in the back post after Jonas Lursel parried out to him. Huddersfield, they were claiming that Lursel, was, I don't know what I'm doing there, was obstructed by Dean Garner, who was in an offside position as his line of sight was probably maybe disabled or like impaired, or I don't know what the word is. But yeah, I don't think it was, and then it didn't really matter anyway, as Huddersfield went on to win the game in the 86th minute. Emile Smith-Rowe played through by O'Brien, and then he tucked it away into the bottom left corner on his left foot. And I predicted a 2-1 away win for West Brom for this one. Obviously got that one wrong, as Huddersfield pulled off a shock win. Next game is between Charlton and Wigan at the Valley. This one, it was 2-2 draw as it ended. Wigan took the lead after 9 minutes through Jamal Lowe. A little scramble around the goal line of Charlton's goal, and it ended up being bundled in from the head of Lowe. Good header into the roof of the net. Alfie Doherty then equalised for Charlton just 2 minutes later. A good crossing, and then a first-time volley at the back post from Doherty into the far corner. Good finish from him. Charlton then probably had the better chances in their little spell before Wigan, against really the run of play, really, came back and equalised for, not equalised, put Wigan ahead, sorry, after he got the ball crossed across to him, and at the back post just fired it into the net to give Wigan a 2-1 lead. Then all that hard work was cancelled out by Macaulay Bonne in the 90th minute, left side of the box, sorry, and he curled one into the far corner. Great finish, really, and that could prove costly for Wigan, conceding late on. If they don't manage to win on the last day, because it has been confirmed by the EFL, they are getting that 12-point deduction, so they need to win on the last day of the season to stay up, pretty much, really. Next game was another huge game in terms of the promotion race, and it was between Stoke and Brentford at Bet365 Stadium. And this one was a huge shock in this one, as Stoke ended up winning this one 1-0 through Lee Gregory, and again another goalkeeping mistake, much like the first game with West Brom. The shot was fired in by Sam Clucas. Raya, I mean, it was a tough shot, but he could have held on to it, but ended up just parrying it straight into the path of Lee Gregory, who was about 2-3 yards out, couldn't miss, tapped into the empty net. Brentford had chances to get an equaliser, but just couldn't find it, and Adam Davies made a wonderful save in the dying seconds of the game after the ball was thundered in, I think, from Ethan Pinnock, Brentford's centre-half, and Davies made a wonderful reaction save, tipping it round the post. Obviously this one I got incorrect, as I predicted a 2-1 away win for Brentford, as they were on such great form, and I just didn't see them slipping up. But obviously they've not. Actually, they performed quite well in this game, just weren't clinical enough, and they're guaranteed playoffs, but I don't know if they'll win the playoffs, as you know, when a team like gets this close. Obviously, I think it was with Brighton the season we played them in the playoffs and ended up going to Wembley, but unfortunately lost. Yeah, I think they might falter under that pressure and the missed opportunity. Game was between Blackburn and Reading at Ewood Park, and this was a very high-scoring game, like a lot of the games in this game week. Finished 4-3 to Blackburn, this one in a very topsy-turvy game, end-to-end, a great game. I predict a 1-1 draw, both teams on similar form, and I don't think anyone really sees games like these coming in the Championship with like high-scoring games. Blackburn took lead after 3 minutes through Ben Brereton, a good little run into the box, then he fired at home off his left foot. The lead was doubled just 3 minutes later on the 6th minute as Armstrong fired a shot in from the edge of the box into the bottom corner again. Swift got Reading a goal back after 15 minutes with a free kick whipped into the bottom left-hand corner, a good free kick from him. Joe Rothwell then added another goal for Blackburn, firing one home which was deflected into the net off Liam Moore, but it counted as Rothwell's goal. Baldock then got another goal back for Reading, heading it down into the ground and ended up bouncing into the corner. And then Maite completed the comeback on the 68th minute. Ball's dinked across from Baldock again and he headed it home. But then the game was won in the 87th minute through Sam Gallagher, who managed to get a head on a cross at the back post, just managing to squeeze it in past Raphael, the Reading goalkeeper. This game was again another very high-scoring game, and it was between Fulham and Wednesday. Fulham ended up winning this one 5-3 in a very exciting game, to be honest. Predicted 2-1 home win for Fulham, but that was out the window within the first half. Cabano gave them Fulham the lead after 11 minutes, cutting inside of the left-hand side, taking advantage of Odebajo slipping and curled it into the near post. Good finish. Mitrovic then went through one-on-one and fired it into the bottom left-hand corner to put Fulham 2-0 up. And then Mitrovic scored a penalty after a clumsy tackle from Don Iorfa, really smashing it down the middle, but did slip in the process. We did get a goal back early in the second half through Nui from the penalty spot after Murphy was brought down from Rodak, the Fulham goalkeeper, and then he tucked it calmly away into the bottom left-hand corner. But again, that was undone again by Cabano, a really clever free kick, rolling it under the wall into the bottom left-hand corner. Murphy then fired one in from the edge of the box on his right foot, deflected and into the corner, and then the comeback looked on as Nuiu headed one home on the 89th minute. But again, the hard work we'd done was just undone by a lapse in concentration, not getting out to the ball as Bobby Reid secured the 3 points for Fulham, tucking it into the bottom right corner from like 20 yards out, edge around the box. There's further drama in this game as Harrison Reid got sent off after a rugby tackle really on Jacob Murphy, certainly a red card. And yeah, disappointing as a Wednesday fan, but we showed signs of that we had character in the second half, so there's some positives to take from this game. To the only game that I got right in this game week, and it was a huge game in terms of the relegation battle between Hull and Luton Town. This game was a very cagey affair, both teams not having many really clear-cut chances. Probably even in the first half, Luton definitely had the better the second half and eventually got the goal they deserved in the 85th minute through Loire, who managed to just come infield with on a bit of a solo dribbled about 20 yards or so infield, and then hit one in the left corner, off his left foot, into the bottom left-hand corner past Ingham, I think, who's in net, who replaced George Long, obviously conceded 8 last week against Wigan. And as you the scenes after that goal, they were going mental, the Luton players and staff. You could really see that it meant a lot to them, and I do think they've shown great character to get back. So obviously the bottom of the league in a bit of a mess, and I think they've got a very, very good chance of staying up this year. Next game was again another important game, like most of the games in this game week. Took place at the Riverside between Middlesbrough and Cardiff. The reason this one is important is as it was a good 3 points for Cardiff as they aim to secure their spot in their playoff spots. They took the lead after 4 minutes through captain Sean Morrison, who headed home from a corner. That lead was then doubled into the second half after a lung-busting run from Murphy, who got sent through and ran from pretty much the halfway line, Josh Murphy, and then tucked it past Piers in the Middlesbrough net. Murphy then got his second and Cardiff's third on the 81st minute as he managed to roll the ball past Middlesbrough keeper Piers again, just about 8 or so yards out around the penalty area. Middlesbrough did get a goal, a consolation goal, but it was a good free kick from Bristol Sombolonga, curled it over the wall into the top left-hand corner. But as I said before, this is a big 3 points for Cardiff as they aim to secure a spot in the playoffs. Next game, it took place at Deepdale between Preston and Birmingham. For this one, I predicted a 1-0 home win for Preston, and I got close as Preston pulled through and won this one 2-0. A deserved win as well. Took the lead just before half-time through Patrick Bauer. Corner came in, went above everyone, and then ended up falling for Bauer around the back end of the penalty area, and he fired it home on the solid strike with his right foot. A good strike for a centre-half. Birmingham had big chances in the second half to get an equaliser, but they just couldn't take the chances. Rudd making a few decent saves to keep Preston ahead in this one. And Birmingham had end up ruining those missed chances as Brad Potts broke free and won the game in the 87th minute, securing 3 points for Preston, firing the ball with his left foot into the bottom right-hand corner to secure Preston all 3 points in that game. Once again, like most of the games in this game week, was a very high scoring game. This one included 7 goals, and it was between QPR and Millwall in the London derby. And Connor Masterson, gave QPR the lead after 43 minutes just before half time. I mean, it's quite shocking to think, really. There was 7 goals in the game and 6 of them were in the second half. Matt Smith then equalised just into second half for Millwall, but that was again basically erased by Ryan Manning, who put QPR ahead once more. And then Abrishi Eze gave QPR third goal to put them 3-1 up. Sean Hutchinson got a goal back for Millwall in the 67th minute to give them hope. But then Todd Kane added QPR's 4th of the game in the 73rd minute, pretty much securing them their 3 points. And then Jason Malumbai got a late goal, pretty much a consolation goal for Millwall in this one. And yeah, QPR came through and ended up winning this one 4-3 to end their bad streak of form. The game was between Swansea City and Bristol City at the Liberty Stadium. And this one I predicted a 1-1 draw, and I would have got this correct had there not been a mistake. Poor effort from a Bristol City player, as we'll get into in a minute. Swansea had the better chances in the first half and eventually took the lead through Connor Roberts. This one came from an effort from Conor Gallagher at the edge of the box, a really good effort, crashed off the post, and then Connor Roberts followed in to get his first goal of the season, tapping in a really easy finish. Bristol then got a penalty in the second half. Farmer Giju dragged down in the penalty area after a free kick, I think, was whipped into the box. Gigi then got up and took the penalty himself, but then ended up hitting the post. And had he scored that, I'd have got my prediction correct, but unfortunately I didn't, as Gigi ended up missing this penalty. And this is a good 3 points for Swansea, as they're maybe still in contention for that last playoff spot. On to the game at Pride Park involving Derby and Leeds, and this was meant to be Leeds' game where they secured their promotion, but they basically already secured it without even having to kick a football, as West Brom and then eventually Brentford slipping up gave them the title. But it wasn't. Derby get a shock lead in this one. Chris Martin curling the ball into the far corner on his left foot to give them a lead after 54 minutes. But then that was cancelled out just 2 minutes later. Pablo Hernandez curling it into the far right corner on his second bite of the cherry. Shackleton leads his youngster then, put them ahead on the 76th minute, bursting through and smashing it past Keller-Roos in the Derby net. And then a Matt Clark own goal secured Leeds all 3 points in this one. And they really showed why they are the champions and are back in the Premier League in this game. To the final game of this game week, and it was a huge result for Barnsley in terms of staying up in the Championship. Obviously, it was between Barnsley and Nottingham Forest. Predicted a 2-1 away win for Forest in this one. Got it correct as Barnsley won this 1-0 late through Patrick Schmidt. I don't know how you say that, but Barnsley deserved the win. They had so many chances in this game. In the first half, they hit the bar. Second half, they hit the post. They had a one-on-one missed in the first half. A couple of goalmouth scrambles in the second half. And then eventually, Patrick Schmidt managed to fire home late in the game after a cross came in. It was headed back across goal, and Schmidt just managed to fire it into the net. And the scenes at the end of this one showed how much this meant to the Barnsley staff and everything. The manager and his assistant managers all came running onto the pitch to celebrate with the players. It was good scenes, but the work is not done yet. They need to win on the last day if they want to stay in the Championship next season. Now on to the video where I read out the Championship table for you guys. So without further ado, just get straight into it. First spot, champions and back in the Premier League, is Leeds United. They're on 90 points currently. Second, West Brom on 82. Third is Brentford on 81. Fourth is Fulham on 80, who still can get automatic promotion, but they are banking on a West Brom loss there, as well as a Brentford loss as well. So they do need Brentford and West Brom to lose there. Fifth is Forest on 70. Sixth is Cardiff on 70. Seventh is Swansea on 67, who can get into playoff spots, but they have to rely on either Forest or Cardiff losing, and then they have to win themselves. 8th is Preston on 65. 9th is Millwall on 65. 10th is Blackburn on 63. 11th is Bristol on 62. 12th is Derby on 61. 13th is Wigan on 58. 14th is QPR on 57. 15th is Reading on 56. 16th is Wednesday on 56. 17th is Stoke on 53. 18th is Huddersfield on 51. 19th is Middlesbrough on 50. 20th is Birmingham on 50. 21st is Charlton on 48. 22nd is Barnsley, 22nd is Luton, on 48. 23rd is Barnsley on 46, and in bottom spot is Hull on 45. And I'm pretty sure they have to win 15-0 to stay in the Championship. Obviously, this is going to be fireworks on the last day of the season, as nobody has gone down yet. And I'm pretty sure from 19th to 24th can all get, relegated. But there is also the added fact that Derby, Wigan and Wednesday, if they do get point deductions, mainly us at Wigan and Wednesday, Derby are probably more safe as they are above the relegation spot by more places. And yeah, if those points deductions go against those clubs, they could be dragged into that mess as well. Like a Hellcat.